Listen to me closely. What you went through was not random. What broke you did not come to bury you. It came to build you. The nights you cried in silence, the prayers that felt unanswered, the doors that slammed shut in your face, none of it was wasted. You may have called it pain, but heaven calls it preparation. You didn't choose the struggle, but the struggle chose you. And here's the truth. God never allows pain without a purpose attached to it. The very thing that tried to destroy you is the same thing God is using to define you. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you survived what was meant to stop you. Some of you have been asking, why me? But God is saying, why not you? Because you can reach people others can't. You can speak from a place of experience, not theory. Your testimony carries weight because it was paid for with tears. Your voice has authority because it was forged in adversity. Don't rush past this season. Don't despise what hurt you. Pain is a teacher. Pain is a refiner. Pain is a doorway. And if you let it, pain will push you into your calling. What wounded you will one day empower you. What embarrassed you will become your evidence. What tried to silence you will amplify your voice. Stand up in your struggle. Lift your head in your storm, because this is not the end of your story. Your pain is turning into your purpose, and the world is waiting for what you're becoming. Hear this with your spirit, not just your ears. What you walked through was not a sentence handed down by heaven. It was a setup designed by purpose. Too many people think that pain means they did something wrong, that suffering is proof of failure, or that struggle is evidence of God's absence. But the truth is far deeper and far more powerful. Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. If it were punishment, it would have destroyed you. If it were judgment, you would not have survived it. The fact that you are still standing is proof that what you endured was meant to shape you, not shame you. Preparation is never comfortable. No one prepares for greatness in ease. Athletes don't prepare on the day of the championship. They prepare in the early mornings when no one is watching. Gold is not purified by compliments. It is purified by fire. Diamonds are not formed in soft places. They are formed under pressure. In the same way, your character, your compassion, your resilience, and your authority were not built in moments of applause. They were built in moments of pain. That season you thought was breaking you was actually training you. There were lessons you could not have learned any other way. Strength you could not have developed without resistance. Wisdom that only comes from walking through things you prayed would never happen. You learned how to stand when support disappeared. You learned how to pray when words failed you. You learned how to keep going when quitting felt reasonable. That wasn't punishment. That was preparation for a calling that requires depth, not surface level faith. Think about it. The people who carry the most power in their voice are not those who read about storms, but those who survive them. Authority is born out of experience. Compassion is sharpened by suffering. When you speak now, you don't speak from theory. You speak from scars, and scars are proof that healing has already begun. You are not damaged goods. You are living evidence that pain does not get the final word. Some of you were pushed into isolation, not because you were rejected, but because you were being refined. God sometimes removes the noise so you can hear your assignment. He separates you so he can shape you. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment. You were being prepared for spaces that require emotional maturity, spiritual depth, and unshakable faith. Not everyone can go where you're going because not everyone survived what you survived. Preparation often looks like delay. You prayed for the promise, but you were given a process. You asked for elevation, but you were taken through excavation. You wondered why things were taking so long, why doors weren't opening, why progress felt slow. But preparation takes time because what you're carrying is heavy. If you were promoted too early, it would have crushed you. So God slowed you down to strengthen you. He worked on your roots before exposing your fruit. The pain corrected things success never could. It stripped away pride. It humbled your spirit. It taught you dependence. It made you seek God instead of applause. purpose instead of popularity, calling instead of comfort. Pain has a way of clarifying what really matters. It reveals who is with you and who was only attached to the version of you that benefited them. That clarity was preparation, not punishment. There were moments you thought you were being overlooked, but you were actually being covered. Hidden seasons are not wasted seasons. They are training grounds. They are places where discipline is built, faith is tested, and identity is secured. When you are hidden, you learn who you are without validation. When no one is clapping, you discover whether you still believe in what God spoke over you. That belief is preparation for public responsibility. You didn't just gain endurance, you gained empathy. You didn't just survive, you learned how to serve. Now you notice pain in others that you once ignored. You hear silent cries because you cried them yourself. You are sensitive where you used to be indifferent. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is preparation for impact. The world doesn't need more impressive people. It needs more compassionate leaders. Look at how your pain redirected you. Things you once chased no longer satisfy you. Conversations you once enjoyed now feel empty. Your appetite has changed. Your priorities have shifted. That's preparation. God was rewiring your desires so they would align with your destiny. You had to outgrow certain environments to step into new assignments. Pain was the exit sign. Even your failures were part of the preparation. The mistakes taught you humility. The losses taught you stewardship. The setbacks taught you patience. You learned how to get back up without applause. You learned how to forgive yourself. You learned how to keep believing when evidence was missing. That kind of faith cannot be taught in comfort. It is forged in adversity. Now understand this, preparation does not mean the pain was enjoyable or fair. Some of what you went through was deeply unjust. Some wounds came from people you trusted. Some experiences left you confused and exhausted. But preparation does not require approval from the situation. It only requires purpose behind it. God did not cause every painful thing, but He used every painful thing. Nothing was wasted. What once felt like a burden is becoming a blueprint. You are beginning to see how your experiences connect, how your story makes sense, how your survival serves a greater purpose. You are not just healed for yourself. You are healed so you can help others walk out of what once trapped you. That is preparation at work. So stop labeling your past as punish me. NT. Stop apologizing for the season that shaped you. Stop wishing away the very thing that gave you depth. Honor the process. Respect the pain. It didn't come to break you. It came to build you. And now that the preparation is almost complete, you are stepping into a version of yourself that could not exist without what you endured. You are stronger, wiser, and more grounded than you've ever been. Not because life was easy, but because you learned how to stand when it wasn't. That is preparation. And preparation always precedes purpose. Some of you need to hear this today. Your struggle does not disqualify you. It qualifies you. Too many people look at hardship and think it is a mark of failure. They see rejection, betrayal, or loss and immediately assume I'm not good enough, strong enough, or worthy enough. Let me tell you something. That is a lie designed to keep you from stepping into your destiny. Struggle is not a barrier. It is a badge. It is not a curse. It is a credential. The very circumstances that tried to stop you are the very circumstances that have prepared you to succeed where others cannot. You were never meant to glide through life untouched. No, you were designed to rise through resistance, to thrive despite trials, and to emerge from difficulty stronger than anyone ever imagined. The moments when doors closed, when people walked away, when opportunities seemed lost forever, those were not the end of your story. They were proof that God was engineering a path. H that requires more than luck. It requires grit, faith, and endurance. Struggle is what equips you to handle the weight of your calling. Look at those who inspire the world. The most influential leaders, the most compassionate healers, the most powerful voices. They were not spared from hardship. They were shaped by it. Pain, failure, and setbacks taught them lessons that no book could. They discovered patience in waiting, resilience in adversity, and wisdom in the school of hard knocks. Every struggle you face is adding depth to your character, sharpening your skills, and strengthening your spirit. When life knocks you down, it is not a sign that you are defeated. It is a signal that you are being prepared to rise with authority. The struggle equips you with empathy that cannot be taught. You begin to understand people in ways that those who have never suffered cannot. You begin to offer hope where hopelessness resides because you have walked that road yourself. Your story, once filled with struggle, becomes a powerful testimony that will inspire, encourage, and uplift others. I want you to recognize that every challenge you face is a classroom. Every heartbreak is a lesson in resilience. Every disappointment is training for greatness. The setbacks are the instructors, the tears are the textbooks, and the nights of loneliness are the laboratories where your faith is tested and strengthened. You were being qualified for a destiny far bigger than you could imagine. Do not let the opinions of others or the weight of your circumstances convince you that you are disqualified. You are not disqualified. You are being refined. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Your struggle is proof that you are being made ready for something extraordinary. The obstacles you encounter are not there to stop you. They are there to strengthen you, to teach you patience, to grow your character, and to make sure you are ready when the moment comes to step into your purpose. Every trial you endure is a stepping stone. Every tear you shed waters the seeds of your destiny. Every rejection you face strengthens your resolve, and every failure you experience equips you with the wisdom to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. Struggle is not your enemy. It is your ally. It is the proving ground where your courage is tested, your faith is strengthened, and your destiny is secured. You see, the world does not need more people who have had it easy. The world needs people who have struggled and persevered. The world needs people who can walk into a room and speak from experience, from a place of authenticity and strength. Your struggle gives you authority. Your pain gives you perspective. Your perseverance gives you power. And all of it qualifies you to accomplish what you were born to do. So, when life pushes back, when people doubt you, when doors close, remember this: your struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of readiness. It is proof that you are being prepared to operate at a higher level than ever before. Every challenge, every hardship, every setback is adding layers to your character, depth to your wisdom, and strength to your spirit. These are not obstacles. They are opportunities in disguise. Do not shrink from the struggle. Do not despise the difficulty. Do not resent the pain. Embrace it, welcome it, learn from it. Let it teach you what you cannot learn from comfort. Let it mold you into someone capable of handling the responsibilities, challenges, and blessings that lie ahead. The struggle is qualifying you for greatness, and when you emerge, you will not only survive, you will thrive. Look in the mirror and recognize that the person staring back at you has been shaped by experiences that others cannot understand. That person has endured, persevered, and grown stronger through every challenge. That person is ready. The struggles you face today are preparing you for the victories of tomorrow. You are not behind. You are being readied. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. Your struggle is your credential. Your trials are your training. Your perseverance is your proof. God is not surprised by your hardships. He is using them to qualify you for your destiny. Every closed door, every disappointment, every setback, every heartbreak, it is all part of a divine process designed to equip you with the strength, wisdom, and resilience to carry out your purpose with excellence. So lift your head square, your shoulders, and step forward with courage. Do not be discouraged by the obstacles in your path. Do not be shaken by the trials that come your way. You are being qualified, And what you are being prepared for is far greater than you can imagine. Your struggle is not your enemy. It is your proving ground. It is your classroom. It is your qualification for the greatness that awaits you. Stand strong in the storm, walk boldly through the fire, and trust the process. Your struggle is turning into your strength, your pain into your power, and your trials into your testimony. Do not run from it. Do not resist it. Do not fear it. Embrace it, because it is shaping you, qualifying you, and preparing you for the extraordinary life and purpose that God has destined for you. You are not disqualified. You are not defeated. You are being qualified. Every struggle, every hardship, every trial, it is all equipping you to rise, to lead, and to impact the world in ways only you can. Stand firm. Stay faithful. Keep walking. The struggle is making you ready, and your purpose is on the other side. Listen carefully, because this is one of the greatest truths you will ever hear. What hurt you is not wasted. Every wound, every betrayal, every disappointment, every tear, none of it was meaningless. In fact, the very thing that brought you to your knees, the pain that seemed unbearable, is the very thing God is going to use to lift someone else up. Your pain is the bridge for someone else's healing. Your story is not just about survival, it's about purpose. What broke you is now the tool that can build someone else. Too many people try to hide their scars. They think their wounds are weakness. They are embarrassed by what happened to them, and they fear judgment. But here's the truth. Scars are not a sign of defeat. They are evidence of overcoming. They are proof that you made it through what could have destroyed you. And that proof has power. Someone, somewhere, is walking through a pain similar to yours right now, and they need to see that survival is possible. They need to hear your story, because it is a roadmap for their recovery. The world does not just need your success. The world needs your testimony. The world needs the honesty of your journey. The place that hurts you the most is the very place you are called to minister to others. Your heartbreak gives you empathy. Your failure gives you insight. Your struggle gives you credibility. No one can understand the depths of someone else's pain like someone who has walked through it themselves. Your past is a ministry waiting to happen. When you share your story, it is not just about what you endured. It is about what you overcame. It is about the lessons you learned when life seemed unfair. It is about the hope that kept you moving forward when everything else told you to quit. And every person who hears it will see that if you can survive, they can survive. If you can rise, they can rise. If you can be healed, they can be healed. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, falsely accused and imprisoned. Everything he endured hurt him deeply. But God used that pain to save nations. The very trials that seemed cruel and meaningless prepared him to meet the needs of millions. His pain was never wasted. It became the source of hope and provision for countless lives. Your life can have the same impact. Every time someone hurt you, every moment you felt alone, every tear that fell, it was not wasted. Those experiences equipped you with insight, compassion, and courage. They made you sensitive to others' struggles. They made your heart tender, your voice authentic, and your guidance invaluable. The people who will benefit from your story are out there. They are waiting for someone who understands. They are waiting for someone who can say, I have been where you are and I made it through. That someone is you. You see, pain has a strange way of transforming us. When it's internalized, it can destroy us. But when it is processed and redirected, it can heal us and heal others. Your hurt becomes a resource when you use it to guide, comfort, and inspire. Your heartbreak becomes a lesson when you allow it to shape your empathy and compassion. Your struggle becomes a ministry when you speak the truth about survival and resilience. What once was a source of shame can now be a source of salvation for someone else. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable. Some of the most powerful leaders and speakers are not those who have never suffered. They are those who have been through the fire and come out stronger. Their words carry weight because they are authentic. Their guidance carries authority because it is proven. And when you dare to speak the truth about your pain, people listen. They lean in. They believe. They are changed. Healing often comes through testimony. When you share your journey, you are not just talking about yourself. You are lighting the way for someone else. The person who is broken, who is hopeless, who feels unseen, will hear your story and know they are not alone. And in that moment, your pain takes on new meaning. It becomes a bridge, a connection, a lifeline. Your experience, once painful and isolating, becomes a tool of transformation. Do not minimize what you have been through. Do not apologize for your wounds. Do not feel ashamed of your scars. Each scar is a story of endurance, a record of faith, and a symbol of hope. Each struggle has made you uniquely equipped to reach people who need exactly what you have to give. You were not given these experiences by accident. They were given to prepare you to be a healer, a guide, a voice, a light for others. And here's the power in your story. When you share it, it multiplies. One person hears your words, feels understood, and finds the courage to keep going. That person shares it with another. And the ripple effect continues. What hurt you once felt unbearable now becomes a catalyst for healing on a scale you cannot even imagine. Your pain becomes a purpose that extends far beyond yourself. Remember this, your past does not define you, but it equips you. Your struggles do not diminish you, they strengthen you. Your heartbreaks do not disqualify you. They qualify you to walk with others through theirs. God does not waste suffering. He repurposes it. Your story, your journey, your testimony, these are not random. They are intentional. They are powerful. They are a gift waiting to heal someone else. So embrace your story, embrace your scars, and embrace your journey. Speak openly about what you endured. Let your testimony shine. Be a voice for those who cannot speak yet. Let your pain become their hope. Let your hurt become their healing. Let your struggles become a ladder for others to climb out of despair. You are living proof that what was meant to hurt you is now what can help others. The world needs your story, your wisdom, and your heart. Don't hide your scars. Wear them as armor. Don't bury your pain. Share it as a blessing. What hurt you is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of someone else's healing. Stand tall, speak boldly, and walk forward with courage. Your past is your power. Your pain is your platform. Your story is your ministry. The same experiences that tried to defeat you are now equipping you to lift others. What hurt you will help others heal. And through you, God's purpose will be revealed in the lives of countless people. Listen carefully, because this is a truth that can transform the way you see every setback, every wound, and every broken season of your life. God uses broken places to release power. Yes, brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning of something extraordinary. Every crack, every failure, every shattered dream is not a dead end. It is a doorway. It is an open invitation for God's power to move in ways that your strength alone could never accomplish. You see, the very places where you feel weak, exposed, or defeated are the places where God chooses to show up the most. Too often, we try to hide our brokenness. We put on masks, we cover up our failures, and we pretend that everything is okay. But God sees through the facade. God does not require perfection. He requires availability. He does not demand that we be whole. He desires that we be honest. Brokenness is not a flaw to fix before God can use you. Brokenness is the very condition through which His power flows. When we are at our weakest, He is at His strongest. When we feel empty, He is ready to fill us with strength, wisdom, and authority. Look at the stories in the Bible. David was broken, rejected by his own family, and hunted like an animal. Yet in the cracks of his life, God released a king. Moses doubted himself, feared failure, and felt inadequate, but in his weakness, God displayed power that freed a nation. Gideon felt small, unworthy, and incapable, yet God used his brokenness to deliver victory over overwhelming odds. Every great move of God happens in brokenness, because God's power is not dependent on human perfection. It is magnified through human humility. Brokenness removes pride. It removes self-reliance. It strips away the illusions that we can do life alone. When we are broken, we have nowhere else to turn except upward. That is where the power comes in. You see, God cannot release his power through prideful hearts. He cannot flow through those who rely solely on their own understanding, their own strength, or their own plans. But when a heart is broken, open, and desperate, God steps in and pours his power abundantly, like rain falling on dry ground. Think about what brokenness does spiritually. It teaches dependence. It cultivates patience. It strengthens faith. When everything inside you screams, "I can't," you are forced to rely on the one who can. When doors close, when relationships fail, when dreams seem to die, you discover that God's power is bigger than your circumstances. And this power doesn't just help you survive, it transforms your situation, renews your mind, and releases a new level of authority over your life. Every pain, every rejection, every disappointment is a potential launch pad for God's power. The very place that hurt you, the place that broke you, the place you tried to hide from others, God is using it to prepare you for something greater. The cracks in your life are not weaknesses, they are channels. Channels through which strength, wisdom, courage, and influence will flow, not just for you, but for those around you. When you feel shattered, remember that broken things have a purpose. A shattered clay jar becomes a vessel for God's glory. A cracked heart becomes a channel for compassion. A defeated spirit becomes a source of inspiration. God's power is revealed not in things that are flawless, but in lives that have been tested, tried, and broken. And here's the truth. The more broken you feel, the more capable you are of receiving his power. God's power often manifests in ways that the world cannot understand. It does not always come with fanfare, applause, or recognition. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is invisible to the human eye. But in the broken places, God moves with precision and purpose. He uses the pain you experience to give you insight, HT, to give you wisdom, to give you a voice that carries weight, authority, and credibility. The lessons learned in brokenness are lessons that cannot be taught in comfort, stability, or ease. Consider your own life. There are moments you have endured that seemed unfair, moments that left you empty and defeated. Maybe you lost a job, a relationship, or a dream. Maybe betrayal pierced your heart and rejection closed doors you thought were meant to open. Yet in those moments, something was being released in you. A strength you did not know you had, a courage you did not know existed, a faith that could only be born in brokenness. That is God's power being prepared in you. Brokenness also brings clarity. It allows you to see what matters and what does not. It reveals who is genuine and who is not. It strips away distractions, false expectations, and shallow attachments. In the quiet of broken seasons, God speaks. In the emptiness, he fills. In the absence of comfort, he releases presence. And that presence is power. The kind of power that can heal wounds, restore hope, and change lives. Do not fear brokenness. Do not run from it. Do not despise it. Embrace it, because it is not permanent. It is a process. It is a preparation. It is the proving ground where God's power meets human weakness. The very things that hurt you, the very things that left you feeling powerless, are the very things God will use to catapult you into your purpose. Sometimes brokenness leads to breakthrough. GH. Sometimes a shattered dream opens the door to a destiny you could not have imagined. Sometimes a heart broken by loss becomes the most compassionate heart in the room. God's power is designed to flow through cracks, to shine through scars, and to speak through silence. That is why brokenness is not failure. It is fertile ground for miracles, provision, and transformation. The challenge is that brokenness requires surrender. You cannot receive God's power while holding on to control, resentment, or fear. You cannot experience His strength while clinging to self-sufficiency. You must allow the broken places to become the open spaces where His glory can dwell. You must let go of shame, pride, and doubt. You must let the past be the classroom, not the prison. Only then will the power be released fully. Remember, the most powerful testimonies, the most transformative ministries, the most impactful lives often come from the most broken places. Do not despise your struggles. Do not resent the pain. Do not ignore the wounds. Those broken places are God's laboratories. They are where character is formed, faith is refined, and supernatural strength is cultivated. The storms you faced were not random. The betrayals you suffered were not meaningless. The losses you endured were not wasted. God is using every broken piece of your life to release a level of power that will touch generations. And when you finally step into that power, you will see the wisdom in every hardship, the purpose in every struggle, and the glory in every broken season. So stand tall, even in your brokenness. Speak boldly, even when you feel weak. Move forward, even when the path is uncertain. Let God use your broken places to release power, to heal hearts, to restore lives, and to fulfill destinies. What seems like weakness now will become your greatest weapon. What seems like despair will become your doorway to victory. Brokenness is not the end. It is the channel for power that will elevate you, inspire others, and glorify God. Your brokenness is not a limitation. It is a launch pad. It is the place where God's power begins to move. Let Him use it. Let Him fill it. Let Him transform it. What you once thought was the end of your story is actually the beginning of a life overflowing with strength, influence, and supernatural impact. God uses broken places to release power, and that power is now ready to move through you. Listen to me carefully, because this is one of the most powerful truths you need to grasp. Your testimony is being built in the fire. Every trial, every hardship, every moment of despair, every tear you have shed, it is all part of God's workshop. The fire is not there to destroy you. It is not there to humiliate you or to break you beyond repair. The fire is there to form you, to refine you, to create a testimony so powerful that it will inspire generations and shift lives in ways you cannot yet imagine. Too many people look at their struggles and say, "Why me? This is unfair. I can't take it anymore." But what they fail to understand is that the fire is the proving ground of purpose. It is the place where ordinary people become extraordinary. It is the place where resilience is forged, where faith is strengthened, and where character is polished until it shines. The same fire that seemed unbearable is the very fire that God is using to prepare a story that will not only glorify Him, but also guide and heal others. Think about what happens in a furnace. Metals are melted down and impurities are burned away. Only then can the metal be formed into something strong, something valuable, something unbreakable. Your life is no different. The heat of hardship, the pressure of disappointment, the flames of betrayal, these are refining you. They are stripping away doubt, fear, and weakness. They are burning off the layers that were not meant to remain. The fire is not punishment, it is preparation. Every moment of pain is being recorded in the chapters of your testimony. Every setback is being written into your story as a chapter of triumph. Every struggle is a verse of victory. The nights when you prayed and no answer came are not wasted. They are the paragraphs of perseverance. The doors that slammed in your face, the people who left you, the situations that tried to break you, all of these are shaping a narrative that will inspire someone who feels hopeless. Your testimony is not just about survival, it is about transformation. It is about being becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of what you endured. Some of the most powerful testimonies in history did not come from comfort, they came from fire. They came from suffering that seemed unbearable, challenges that seemed insurmountable, and moments when the world said, "You cannot." And yet, through it all, those people endured, they persevered, and they were transformed. Remember Joseph, his life was a furnace of betrayal, false accusation, and imprisonment. He could have given up, he could have allowed the fire to consume him, but he did not. He endured, he trusted God. And when he emerged, his testimony became a story of redemption, leadership, and divine favor that saved nations. What you are going through now may seem impossible, but God is building your Joseph story in the fire. Every trial you face has a divine purpose. It is building patience where you were impatient. It is developing faith where you were doubtful. It is cultivating wisdom where ignorance once resided. It is strengthening courage where fear used to dominate. The fire is not random, it is deliberate. God knows exactly what he is doing. He is writing a testimony that is bigger than your pain, stronger than your fears, and more inspiring than anything you have ever dreamed. The fire also builds empathy. When you go through hardship, you develop a sensitivity to the struggles of others. You learn how to speak to people in their pain, how to encourage them when they are weary, and how to guide them when they are lost. Your testimony becomes a tool for ministry, a light for those walking in darkness. What once tried to break you is now being turned into a bridge for others. Do not rush the process. Testimonies are not built overnight. They are forged slowly, in moments when you feel weak, when the world seems to be against you, when the fire seems too hot to bear. Every tear, every disappointment, every lonely night is shaping the story that God will use to uplift someone else. Your patience in the fire is essential. If you resist it, your testimony remains unfinished. If you surrender to it, it becomes unstoppable. You may feel like you are being overlooked, forgotten, or abandoned. But the fire always has a purpose. Even when no one seems to understand your struggle, God sees every detail. He sees every tear. He feels every pain. He knows exactly how long the fire should burn and how much you need to endure. And when the fire is finished, your testimony will be a testament to his faithfulness, power, and love. Your testimony is not just about what you overcome. It is about who you become in the process. It is about emerging from the fire with courage that cannot be shaken, faith that cannot be moved, and hope that cannot be destroyed. The fire is not the enemy. It is the sculptor, and you are the masterpiece. Every struggle, every obstacle, every trial is a stroke of the divine artist's hand, shaping you into someone who will inspire, encourage, and lead others. Do not fear your fire. Do not despise it. Do not resist it. Embrace it as the laboratory of your destiny. Let it purify your heart, strengthen your spirit, and sharpen your mind. Let it burn away everything that is not of God's design for your life. And remember, the fire is never wasted. Every moment you endure, every tear you shed, every prayer you lift is a step closer to the testimony God is building in you. When your story is finally told, when your journey is finally shared, people will be amazed, not just by what you accomplished, but by what you endured. They will be inspired not only by your success, but by the fire that shaped you, the pain that refined you, and the faith that carried you through. Your testimony will be a living proof that God's power is sufficient, that his timing is perfect, and that his purpose is greater than any struggle. So, hold your head high in the fire. Lift your eyes toward heaven and the flames. Walk boldly, even when the heat is intense. Know that every trial is building a testimony that will inspire, uplift, and transform lives. The fire is not your enemy. It is your divine preparation. Your testimony is being built in the fire, and when it is revealed, it will glorify God, empower others, and declare to the world that no trial is wasted when God is in control. You are not just surviving, you are being refined. You are not just enduring, you are being empowered. You are not just crying, you are being prepared. Every eerie moment in the fire is a stroke on the canvas of your testimony. Every tear a note in the symphony of your story. Every struggle a building block of the life God is shaping in you. Your testimony is being built in the fire, and it will shine as a beacon of hope for anyone who dares to believe that God can turn their pain into purpose. Listen closely, because this is the truth that can change the trajectory of your life. Purpose always rises after pain. Yes, what you are enduring now is not the end of your story. The heartbreaks, the betrayals, the disappointments, the doors that slammed in your face, they are not permanent. Pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of despair is part of a divine setup to bring your life into alignment with the calling God has placed inside you. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the pathway, and purpose is waiting on the other side. Too many people give up too early. They allow the pain to define them, to discourage them, and to destroy their hope. They see setbacks and say, "This is the end. There's nothing left for me." But what they fail to understand is that the end is never where God works. Purpose is always on the other side of pain. The storm you are walking through is not a sign of failure. It is the forge in which your destiny is being shaped. And when you come out on the other side, you will see that what hurt you was not there to stop you, but to prepare you. Pain has a way of exposing what really matters. It strips away distractions, superficial relationships, and false expectations. It humbles the proud and elevates the humble. It forces us to lean into faith, hope, and perseverance. And in that refining, God prepares a foundation for purpose that is unshakable, unwavering, and unstoppable. Every challenge you face is a lesson, a preparation, a stepping stone to the life you were meant to live. Consider the times when your dreams seemed shattered. The job you wanted went to someone else. The relationship you hoped for ended in heartbreak. The plan you trusted fell apart. At the moment, it felt like failure. It felt like rejection. It felt like the world was conspiring against you. But what you could not see in that moment was that God was redirecting your steps. He was dismantling paths that were not meant for you and clearing the way for a destiny far greater than you had imagined. Purpose always rises after pain because God never wastes suffering. He repurposes it. Think about the seed. A seed must first be buried in the dark soil. It must endure pressure, suffocation, and decay. At first, it seems lifeless. At first, it appears to be destroyed. But underneath the surface, life is forming. Roots grow deep and shoots push upward. And eventually, the seed bursts forth, transforming into a tree that bears fruit. Your pain is the soil. Your struggle is the darkness. And your purpose is the life that will emerge stronger, higher, and more fruitful than ever before. Every difficulty you encounter is preparing you for influence. Every trial is preparing you for impact. Every moment of despair is a rehearsal for victory. When your purpose rises after pain, you will not only succeed, you will inspire. You will not only achieve, you will uplift. You will not only heal, you will lead others through their own storms because you understand what it feels like to be broken and to rise again. Purpose is always more powerful when it follows pain because it carries the wisdom, empathy, and strength that only hardship can cultivate. Remember Joseph, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years. Yet after all of that pain, purpose rose. He became the savior of nations, the man whose wisdom and leadership preserved life during famine. His trials were not the end. They were the preparation for his rise. The very pain that tried to destroy him became the platform for his purpose. And what God did in Joseph's life, he can do in yours. Pain also strengthens faith. When you endure, when you keep moving forward despite disappointment, you develop resilience. You learn to trust God when the evidence seems impossible. You discover that hope is not dependent on circumstances, but on the one who holds all things together. That faith becomes a foundation for purpose, because purpose requires trust, patience, and perseverance. Without the fire of pain, your faith cannot mature, and without mature faith, purpose cannot fully manifest. Do not despise your pain. Do not resent the struggles you face. Do not allow bitterness to take root in your heart. Every setback is a setup. Every wound is a window. Every tear is a testimony waiting to be written. What you go through now will become the very thing that propels you to heights you never dreamed possible. Purpose always rises after pain, because God never abandons his promises. He never forgets his plans. And he never fails to turn what was meant for harm into something extraordinary. Look at your life and consider the moments of loss. Maybe a friendship ended. Maybe a dream fell apart. Maybe a goal slipped through your fingers. It hurt. It still hurts. But that pain is not meaningless. It is the soil in which your purpose is being cultivated. It is the fire that is forging your character. It is the darkness from which your light will shine brightest. When purpose rises, it will do so fully equipped, fully mature, and fully capable of achieving what you were always meant to achieve. Pain also develops perspective. When you have endured difficulty, you see life differently. You value what matters. You let go of what does not. You prioritize purpose over pleasure, meaning over convenience, and service over selfishness. That perspective allows you to walk into your purpose with clarity, intentionality, and impact. You will not be distracted by what is trivial or superficial, because your pain has taught you what truly counts. When purpose rises after pain, it transforms not just your life, it transforms the lives of those around you. People who are struggling will look to you and see hope. They will hear your story and feel courage. They will experience your influence and know that it is possible to overcome. Your life becomes a testimony, a ministry, a beacon for others. And that is the ultimate purpose, to rise not only for yourself, but for those God has called you to serve. Never give up. Never stop moving forward. Never let temporary pain convince you that permanent defeat is inevitable. Your breakthrough is coming. Your restoration is coming. Your purpose is waiting. And when it rises, it will not just be good, it will be magnificent. It will not just be successful, it will be significant. It will not just be for you, it will be for generations to come. Purpose is not delayed, it is prepared. What seems like setbacks are really setups. What feels like destruction is really divine construction. What appears as ending is actually the prelude to a new beginning. Your pain is shaping your purpose. Your trials are equipping your calling, and your perseverance is preparing you for the rise that is already destined. So stand firm, hold on, keep walking, trust the process even when it hurts. Believe in God's timing even when the wait is long. Know that every tear, every loss, every challenge is temporary, but your purpose is eternal. And when it rises, it will be unstoppable, undeniable, and unforgeable. Remember this, purpose always rises after pain. Every trial you endure, every wound you survive, every storm you weather, these are the seeds of your destiny. They are the foundation for your calling. They are the proof that God has not forgotten you, that he is preparing you, and that your life will be a testimony of his power, grace, and faithfulness. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your purpose. Your struggles are not defeats. They are preparations. Your tears are not wasted. They water the soil of your destiny. Trust that after the fire, after the storm, After the season of difficulty, your purpose will rise, and when it does, it will shine brighter, reach farther, and impact more lives than you ever imagined. Stand tall, speak boldly, move forward. Your purpose is ready to rise, and the world is waiting for it. So now, listen carefully. Every trial you face, every tear you shed, every moment you felt defeated, it was not in vain. Your pain was a teacher, your struggle was a qualifier, your hurt was a bridge, your brokenness was a channel, your fire was a forge, and now your purpose is ready to rise. Every piece of your story has been carefully crafted by God, and every chapter points to one undeniable truth. You are not the sum of what hurt you. You are the evidence of what God can do with someone who refuses to quit. Stand in this moment and know that your pain is turning into your purpose. The very things that tried to break you are being transformed into a testimony that will inspire others, heal the hurting, and shine as a beacon of hope in a dark world. Your struggle qualifies